Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's Vesna here. Today I am sharing with you my son's headboard and table makeover. So I created the headboard with these MDF boards. They're just like the baseboards that you would use around your wall. And we had some leftover from our renovation project. So we've cut them to shape to the size that we need for a king size bed. My husband helped me with this. He used the miter saw to cut them and to get the right angle. So here's the outline of the frame. And then the inside, I did different colors. So we cut those pieces smaller because I wanted it to be like a geometric shape. I am using this red paint from Country Chic. I got it off of Facebook Marketplace for $5. It was brand new. And then I'm also using the Rust-Oleum chalked charcoal black paint. So once I have the first coat on, I will add another coat just to get it to be nice and dark, and just continue on with using the paint. And then I brushed it with wax, and my husband used the nailer to attach it to the wall. And here's what it looks like. It looks super cute with his wall color. It's all colorful. This is all his choice, and I bought a blankie to match it, to match everything. And he loves it, so I love it. And I think it turned out really cute and super inexpensive to make. So if you're ever wanting to make a headboard, you can even buy those. You've seen me use it in my other videos, those framing pieces of wood. And they're like $2-3 each at Home Depot, and you can stain them. You just have to sand them down because they are rough, but you can stain them and have a really nice headboard. So let me know what you think of this one. Then next, I am recreating this table that I picked up off of Facebook Marketplace. I got it for $10 with the chair. Now I did post the chair makeover in a different video, so I'll link that up here. And what I did first is I just cleaned it off, and then I just took some sandpaper and I roughly just scuffed it up a bit just so that the paint would stick better. Again, I am using that Rust-Oleum chalked paint in charcoal black, and my Annie Sloan wax, which is what I used on the headboard. I didn't show it to you, but I used that as well. And I am also then going to use some of that Country Chic red paint, which went a really long way. So I used it for the drawers, for the side, and for the headboard, that little can, which I was quite impressed. And so I'm just showing you here the wax and the paint, and then I'll get going. I'll show you a little bit of how I paint, but I'm not going to show you in full detail. You just have to make sure you clean it off really well. I'm just using some soap and water because it's a good degreaser. I'm using Dawn, and it'll help take any of the dirt and whatever needs to be taken off of there. And then I prepped just the floor a little bit when I was painting the bottom parts because I didn't want to take the table downstairs because he had been using it for a little while. So I wanted to leave it up here. And don't mind my outfit. This is my painting outfit. My husband says it reminds him of his grandma. So it is like a little apron thing that I bought back home. And I use it for painting because it's great. It covers up my whole body, and then I can just I don't mind getting it dirty. When I paint, I like to I have an Annie Sloan brush that I use, and it's my favorite brush to use because the brush strokes look really nice and it's easily cleaned and all of that stuff. So I'm using that brush. And when I apply the paint, I do like a thinner layer first, and then I do another coat, because if you cake on too much, it tends to either chip off or not look as nice. And when you're painting, you want to kind of do the brush strokes randomly, so that way they show less once you buff it and wax it. So as you can see, I'm doing it all sorts of ways, just so that way it looks a little bit better, and the coverage is better then too. And again, you're better off to apply 2 or 3 coats than to cake on too much. And I prefer Annie Sloan paint. It goes a little bit longer, but this one is pretty good too. I don't mind the Rust-Oleum. They're probably my 2 favorite ones to use. I've never used that Country Chic before. That one was pretty good too. It was quite thick, so near the end I did have to water it down because it got pretty thick at the bottom. So here it is all done. It's still not dry, but it is, the coverage is pretty good. That's just one coat. So I'll do another coat and you'll see what it's like after. I'm not going to show you painting the other coat because you don't need to see it. Just the key is to let it dry really well before you start to wax it, because otherwise you're going to take some of the paint off. So you have to have patience, which I'm really bad at because sometimes I don't have enough patience for these projects. I don't know why. I just want it to be done. I start to like the way it looks and then I want to hurry and get it over with. So again, here for the drawers, I'm using that Country Chic red paint, and I will be painting the drawers in that color as well. My son wanted some stripes on the side of the table, so I'll do that as well. I removed the handles and I wind up painting the handles black as well so that it gives a little bit of that contrast. And so same thing, I'm applying the paint, doing random brush strokes with this paint to get it red, and I do wind up doing a few coats. So applying the wax is the same idea as the paint. You want to do random strokes. I'm using, this is not an Annie Sloan brush, but it is a natural Bristol brush that has been used quite a bit. I made the mistake of not washing it after every use, so I now kind of just left it. I did try washing it a couple of months ago. Didn't work out all that well because the wax is really on there. So I probably will have to get a new one, but I've had this brush for years, like 10 years at least. So it served me well. So again, I'm doing it really randomly, but doing small sections and then buffing it out. So rubbing it. So that's why I'm telling you have to wait for the paint to dry, because when you're buffing, you do run the risk of taking the paint off if it's not dry enough. So again, little sections are better, and you can do 2 or 3 coats of wax on this just to give it a really good protection, but you have to let it dry and set in between. So this did take me several days to do because you have to let it dry and all of that stuff. So again, but random strokes so that way you can't see the brush strokes as much, and it'll give you that really, really nice finished look. So here's what it looks like all finished with the handles painted black, the little sides. I just used, this was random again. I just used some painter's tape to get this covered so that I could have nice stripes. And I just had to do some touch-ups, but I think it turned out really, really nice. Let me know what you think. My little guy loves it, so that's all that matters to me. But have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this. Stay tuned for another furniture video coming up next week. Thank you.